The story, the Buddha and the man who insulted him. One background and jealousy in a man's heart. In those days, the Buddha and his disciples were traveling across the plains of the Ganges, teaching the Dharma. His words spread widely, transforming countless lives. Farmers gave up greed, merchants abandoned deceit, and even rulers became more compassionate. People revered him as the enlightened one, the light that guides the world. Yet alongside those who sincerely learned from him, there were also people consumed by envy. Among them was a man from a nearby village. He made his living through trade and was known for his fiery temper and arrogance. When he heard how deeply the people respected the Buddha, anger arose within him. "What is so special about this man?" he muttered. "He is just flesh and bone like the rest of us. And yet everyone treats him like a god. How infuriating." The more he heard the villagers speak of the Buddha with reverence, the more furious he became. He thought, "If I meet this ascetic, I will show him his place. I will insult him until he loses that calm mask of his." And soon, his chance came. One morning, he learned that the Buddha and the Sangha would be passing through the road to his village. He decided to wait there. To anger unleashed. The morning sun rose gently over the fields. The Buddha and his disciples walked calmly down the narrow path. The sound of alms bowls clinking softly mingled with the breeze. Villagers stood respectfully on both sides, some placing rice into bowls, others offering fruits or vegetables. The air was filled with peace. Suddenly, that peace was broken. The angry man rushed into the middle of the road, blocking their way. His face flushed red with rage, his eyes blazing. He pointed at the Buddha and shouted, "Hey, Gautama! You are nothing but a fraud. You wander about begging, living off others. You deceive the people with your empty words of morality. Don't think you are above us." His voice rang out, shattering the serenity. The crowd gasped in shock. Some disciples stepped forward, ready to shield their teacher. A few clenched their fists, anger rising in their hearts. But the Buddha raised his hand gently. "My friends, stay calm." He stood still, unmoving. His eyes radiated compassion, his face serene like the moon reflected on a still lake. The man grew even angrier, seeing no reaction. He poured out more insults, calling the Buddha a liar, a parasite, a worthless fraud. His words were coarse and filled with venom. Yet the Buddha remained silent. 3. The lesson of the unaccepted gift. When the man had exhausted his rage, the Buddha spoke in a calm, steady voice, "Tell me, my friend. If someone brings a gift to you, but you refuse to accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The man was startled, confused. He stammered, "Well, it still belongs to the giver, of course." The Buddha smiled gently, "That is correct. In the same way, the insults and harsh words you have spoken are like a gift. Since I do not accept them, they remain with you. I do not become angry, for anger only burns the one who carries it. I do not hate, for hatred only binds the heart in chains. But you, my friend, you are the one suffering under the weight of your own fury." He paused and looked deeply into the man's eyes. "When the fire of anger burns in your heart, who suffers the most? It is you, not I." The man stood speechless. 4. Silence among the crowd. The villagers watched in awe. At first, they feared a violent clash. But the Buddha's words fell like cool water, quenching the flames. An old man wept softly and whispered, "Only a great being of wisdom and compassion could respond in this way." The disciples bowed their heads in respect. They realized that had they acted out of anger, they would only have worsened the conflict. It was the Buddha's serenity that dissolved the tension. 5. Transformation in the insulter's heart. The man felt as though an arrow had pierced his chest. All his life, whenever he grew angry, others either feared him or fought back. Never before had anyone met his rage with such gentleness. Suddenly, his shoulders felt unbearably heavy. The insults he had hurled seemed like stones he had piled upon himself. Instead of humiliating the Buddha, he had only disgraced his own heart. Tears welled up. He dropped to his knees before the Buddha and cried, "Master, I have been blind. Out of envy and ignorance, I spoke words of poison. Please, forgive me." The Buddha's voice was soft and kind. "There is nothing to forgive. The moment you see your mistake, you are already awakening. From now on, guard your heart. Do not let anger lead you astray. Remember, only compassion can extinguish hatred." The man bowed deeply, his tears falling to the ground. Within him, the fire of rage was extinguished, and a seed of goodness quietly began to grow. 6. A lesson passed down. The story quickly spread throughout the region. People told it again and again, as though it were a miracle. But it was not a miracle, it was simply the power of wisdom and compassion. The Buddha said, "Hatred never ceases by hatred. Only by love does hatred cease." This is an eternal truth. From then on, many reminded themselves, when insulted, if we respond with anger, we only fan the flames. But if we remain calm, we not only protect ourselves but may also help the other awaken. 7. Deeper meaning. From this story, we learn profound truths. Insults are like harmful gifts. If we do not accept them, they cannot hurt us. Anger burns the one who holds it. To cling to rage is like clutching a hot coal to throw at another. The hand that holds it is burned first. Compassion is true strength. It is not weakness, but the power to transform hostility into understanding, violence into peace. Wisdom is patience. Only the awakened can see the root of anger and release it. 8. Conclusion. In the years that followed, the man who once insulted the Buddha became one of the most diligent students of the Dharma in his village. He often told his children and grandchildren, "Whenever you feel anger rising, remember the calm eyes of the Blessed One. Do not let the fire of rage consume you." The story of the Buddha and the man who insulted him has been passed down for centuries, a guiding light for those still trapped in anger. It reminds us that only the path of wisdom and compassion can bring lasting peace and happiness.